Alright, so here we are, Hunter, at the bottom of the bottom of Subterranean, going into the depths. So now it's time to see if they're gonna let me through now. So I'm playing on the file where I tried to give Looks to the Moon 5 Pebbles' neuron first, which is a file where I did not get this 5 Pebbles a specific dialogue about, oh, let me help you ascend. But I figure it's the same. You gonna help me out here, buddy? Uh-oh. I was like, oh, it's the same thing in terms of dialogue of what he gave me for things. Although, considering that this isn't reacting to me, a little bit worried that it might not be. Well, we'll find out when we get to our first creature thingy and see if it kills me. If not, then, uh-oh. I guess I'm gonna have to redo a lot of work that I just did, which will be very annoying. Or, you know, also possibly I might just be doing this wrong? Question mark? I don't know. Hello, big boys. Do I pass your vibe check? Considering the fact that the music just died, I'm thinking no. Don't mind me. I'm just a little guy. Okay, well that one didn't kill me, but I don't think the first one killed me last time either. Oh yeah, I'm so dead. Huh. They're tossing me rather than killing me. But we're gonna, listen, I gotta keep trying. I'm gonna see what happens. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. So that's a no, I think. Which is very annoying. God damn it. Good try one more time. They're probably gonna kill my ass now. You know, escalating whatevers. But I'm curious. While we're down here, we might as well do some science. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Put my corpse up in the little alcove. Okay, so I'm gonna do some asking / investigating and then figure out if I just actually need to have that 5 Pebble specific dialogue or if there's something else I need to do that I don't know about. So I'll see you when I figure that part out. So, figured it out. Yeah, baby. Turns out you do, in fact, have to go through to several echoes, which will all change, that'll each change you just by a little bit, and eventually you'll get to a high enough level. Yay! Failed. This is not the right way. I'll see you when I get to the interesting stuff in here. So you don't have to watch me bumble around in this part again on this playthrough. So, there's an achievement for how I got my karma up this high. It's called, Pilgrimage. The highest enlightenment achieved by the hardest path, a feat even guardians must respect. Which I'm assuming is referring to these guys. I guess they're called guardians, which that tracks for me. They're guarding the path. I passed the vibe check this time. Yay! Does make me wonder though if it's like, is this achievement day? Whoa, big hole. Imagine if you could die from that. Like, oh yeah, I made it all the way down here. Whoopsie. But, you know, I've never actually tried going to an Echo before I talked to Five Pebbles and had the Mark of Communication. Does make me wonder a little bit if I could, would they still do that either on this mode if I didn't talk to Five Pebbles? I mean, it makes more sense that would happen on this mode because, like, I already have the Mark of Communication from the start, but, like, because I kind of assumed at one point during my archaeologist playthrough that I just wouldn't be able to see an echo, talk to an Echo if I didn't have the Mark of Communication. But maybe it's that I can see them, but, like, they either just make sounds, kind of like looks to the moon and Five Pebbles before you get the mark, or just nothing, and you just don't get the translation. Would make the most sense, I think. I just feel like it's like, okay, I can this might actually be an achievement you can get in the other modes of the game too. I just never kind of stumbled across that. Because what did it take me? It took me, like, I didn't actually keep a count, but it was 5 pebbles in either 2 or 3 echoes. Because what did I do? I did the wall, I did shimmy canopy, somebody else. Oh, the third one was Shaded Citadel. And then I was good. So, yeah. Maybe if I do another 4 or 5 echoes, that'll count for 5 pebbles. I don't know. Very excited for this, because I didn't really have a good idea of what would happen for the endings for Monk or Survivor either. I guess Survivor a little bit more so. I mean, I'm assuming that, hello, you guys got real big. Were you always large like this in the other versions of the game? Dang. I figure it's going to be basically the same mechanically up until I get to the ending cinematics. At which point, I have no idea. Like, at least with Survivor, I was like, oh yeah, you kind of see them reunite with Monk, but that wasn't what you ended up seeing, so it's still gonna be a huge surprise. I'm still very curious about the whole, hey, there's something inside of us being compared to 5 Pebbles' thing. I guess, now that I know about that stuff, I feel like it should be, like, I feel like that would have made sense to have hinted at that when you die normally, but I guess not. I mean, that might have been, like, quote-unquote spoilery, but I feel like some kind of a hint at that. I don't know. It's still interesting to me that the only time you get the little flower is when you die. So, I mean, that seems more like was always this veiny in the gold water around me? I don't think that's that new. Oh boy, this does not want me to swim down very fast. I know it usually takes forever, but I did feel like it was usually this thick or heavy. This definitely feels different. Interesting. I think I said this before. I feel like I said this before, but I still want to say it again, because I still feel like it would have been cool if after getting the stats, it would have just reset the whole thing. Like, thematically, I feel like that would have, as a gameplay thing, it would have really reinforced the whole endless cycles. Even dying can't get you out of things. I mean, I get why they might not have gameplay-wise, but hello, I feel like you're up higher than usual, too. It's not a complaint, more of just a personal observation thing. And I doubt this ending is... Okay, yeah, this is definitely harder to swim through than it was in the other modes. But I doubt this, whatever you're gonna get for the pictures, as I said, I have no clue. I don't think it's gonna have anything to do with what's wrong with us, or, like, who we've met before, but having not had the same opening cinematic, which I understand why they don't now, because you don't want to spoil the whole everything going on with no significant harassment giving you the task, and the fact that there's something wrong with you specifically. Hi, buddy. But yeah, I have no idea where we're gonna go with this. Swim down. It's also both, like, because I think this might be the very last thing that I can really do, that I have to do for the base version of this game. Because I've gotten all of the big lore, I've done all of the game mode endings for, like, you know, the regular for Monk and Survivor, because I don't think there's a different version, and then, you know, dying on Cycle 0, getting past Cycle 0, and then, you know, the Ascension, the hard to get ending. Hold on a second, this volume is getting real loud on my end. That's better. I don't know if that shows up, I don't know if the UI shows up on the screen recording. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything else other than maybe going through and trying to get the rest of the, like, base game achievements, which there's definitely a couple more that I know I can get, and I've gotten a couple of hidden ones, and maybe this is going to be one because it's a different kind of ascension. I don't think so. But do you look different in the background than usual? Get that foreground out of here. I want to look at the background. No, that seems about the same. I still feel, but yeah, I've still got, like, there's still a good close to half of the achievements that Steam lists left. And I really don't know what that could possibly be if they're all the base game ones. Then again, considering that there's, like, 5 modes in Downpour, I don't know. That feels like too little for that. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, I think this, unless I try and do the like, achievement, extra passages, I think we're done with the base game in this, which is really wild to think about. I mean, thankfully, I still have a lot, presumably, I mean, I don't know how, like, I know that there's slightly different play styles, maybe more than slightly, I don't know. There are different play styles for each of the other little guys. And there's some amount of new areas, I don't know how much. So that's, I mean, even if it's like, okay, each of those modes is equivalent to, like, I'm assuming that they're not Hunter level difficulty, they're more like Survivor, but, like, with a twist. I hope so, at least, because if they're all Hunter level difficulty, that's a big doozy. Huh. So I haven't gotten attached to the guy and gotten thrown around yet, but I've already got... Is the double thing new? I really should know this, considering how many times I've done the ending, but no. Some things I can, like, okay, yeah, let me quote this entire half of a lore pro. Up there, there they come. Hello, little void creature. You have such a small head. Hi, hi, hi. There we go. Nope. Okay, I'm just gonna keep swimming down. But yeah, presuming that they're all, like, Survivor equivalent difficulty, and, like, okay, there's definitely some new areas you're going to want or need to, look around in. But, like, so that would be, so... I don't know if they're all gonna be the same kind of basic way of doing the game, or if they're gonna make you do some different stuff. I feel like they have to at least a little bit with there being different areas. Unless, I mean... They dropped Hunter off in a different spot. And it would make sense that they could they would have a different starting position for some of the other modes. Because both plot-wise, like gameplay-wise, it makes sense that easy and normal mode would be the same, because they're not that different in terms of the other stuff. And the fact that they're relatively interchangeable in terms of the experience, plot-wise. And also the fact that, plot-wise, the two of them, you know, they fell into this whole area from the same place, so it makes sense that they end up in relatively the same place, although I guess you could hand-wave it away as, okay, they just got washed up somewhere else if you did that. But... yeah, so maybe you start off in some of the new areas for some of the modes, or, you know, it's not the exact same formula of... I mean, you don't have to visit Looks to the Moon in any of these game modes. But for me, it would be, you know, go to Looks to the Moon, go to Five Pebbles to get the stuff you need to ascend and also talk. Go back to Looks to the Moon if you're, you know, care about that. And then, you know, go ascend in the Deep Downs. So, I could see the DLC definitely breaking with that mode of how you'd want to play the game. Are we not getting the extra Miis on this mode, or is it you're just going to take a second? Nope, there we go. So it's hard, assuming that I don't know, it could be still a similar thing, just with a little bit of, like, you know, a similar basic experience, just with some extra stuff put in there. Maybe some changes to the way some of the overworld stuff works, I don't know. It's the question, I mean, I'm still playing the game, I'm still gonna play the game, like, I think it's 5 mode, I'm going off of my basic assumptions of this, but yeah, 5 more times. I'm still gonna play the game 5 more times, assuming that they're somewhat equivalent to one of these playthroughs. That's a lot more game to go through that I've got left. Like, technically speaking, that's more modes than you do on this version of the game. And I mean, for some of them, it's like, okay, you could argue if it's the same basic, you know, route of like checklist of things to do, you could end up doing it faster because you know what you're doing and you're gonna do less. Okay, I'm gonna go to these new areas. How many times are you gonna, unless you know the game wants you to, how many times are you gonna do that? Yeah, I'm curious to see that. See what kind of reactions. I mean, so far, Looks to the Moon and Five Pebbles have had at least slightly different interactions with everybody, because it seems to be like, canonically, all of these slug cats exist in the same universe. With, you know, some things where it's like, okay, some things are slightly more canon than others, like, you could go through Hunter mode, either with Ascension or with, you know, making it to the you died at the end mode without talking to Looks to the Moon ever. But at least when it comes to the other modes, that's definitely not doesn't seem to be the canonical routing, because Looks to the Moon is no longer dead in Monk and Survivor kind of thing. So at the very least, it's going to be like, okay, extra lore from each of the times you might run into Looks to the Moon and Five Pebbles. And are those going to be... where do those fall in the timeline? I would guess that they're... at the very least, they take place after Hunter, if not after Survivor and Monk. I would bet after all of them. And of course, I think I mentioned this before, there's not only are there more lore pearls, there's at least one mode that's, at least as far as somebody told me, at least one mode. The lore pearls are all different. So I get to do all those all over again. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see just what it changes, how much it fundamentally changes about the way the game acts. And yeah, probably going to take a break between this and doing that just to not completely exhaust myself on the game. But I'm excited to see what's going to go on with that. I have no idea what order I'm going to be playing the modes in. There's probably either going to be here's the recommended one in terms of either difficulty or the way the story goes, or there may be somewhat of a, like, you know, you could play Monk or Survivor first and just play one or both, but you have, you know, there may be some conditions of you have to complete this mode or this mode or these modes, you know. There might be some that have conditions to play. So I don't have any idea of that kind of thing yet, but that's to be seen. Alright. Alright, game, we are getting so close to the end of that thing here. It's time to find out what Hunter's ascension looks like. Sweet little buddy, you will finally be free of whatever horrible sickness is inside of you. Yay! Yay! Is there a slug cat equivalent of the Echoes? Is that possible? Just thinking about that now. Going right to the new lore is a bad time to do that, but just because it is established that you can go in the Void Sea and it doesn't quite work. I'm assuming that the slug cats don't have quite the amount of ego for the exact conditions for the Echoes supposedly to kick in. But that would be kind of funny to think about. Alright, so yeah, we're starting out with the same concept, which makes sense because we're still doing the same thing mechanically. Oh, that's Hunter! That's the little guy! Little creature. Little thing. Oh? Oh? Oh, that's the stuff that's inside us! Maybe? Oh! Curled up little baby? Oh! Oh, is that no significant harassment? It's gotta be an iterator. Oh, that was super cool. Oh? Oh, are we getting the scores? Okay, we're getting the scores for this mode. That's very cool. Oh, I don't know what that means. What does it mean, game? I mean, like I said, that's definitely not Looks to the Moon or Five Pebbles, because of, I mean, the colors are a little hard to tell, but they don't look like either of the two of them. Ooh, yeah, delivered payload, that's rescuing Looks to the Moon, helped Five Pebbles, that's showing him the neuron. Possibly just encountering him? I did show him the neuron in this one, so I don't know what the difference is. Ascended, obviously. Not quite paying attention to all the other numbers. I'm still very good on getting the, like, I feel like I have a pretty similar KD ratio. Wow. I killed a lot of lizards. Not all of those lizards counted. For some reason. Oh. No, I do have the blue dot in the Dragon Slayer. I didn't notice that one. Interesting. What was I saying? Oh yeah, that iterator. It's definitely not 5 Pebbles or Looks to the Moon. I'm guessing it's no significant harassment just because they're the one who we've interacted with. I don't know why they'd be down there. Oh no. Other things that I'm sitting... I'm so much better at looking at the text lore than I am the picture lore. Okay. Does this continue? Is this just... Yep. Okay. Within time, you have found another way out! Oh! Hell yeah! That's very cool. I mean, within time, obviously before the time ends, I very much fudged the cycles, if you can't tell, because I was like, you know, I did the challenge part. This is the lore gathering thing. It doesn't really matter. You found another way out. But, ooh, because I had, one of the things that I was wondering, I forget if I've talked about, I don't think I've talked about this on here, was the question of, like, do we get to see more iterators? I hope so. And like, it would be nice also because it's like, I know I've seen people, like, drawing the other iterators. Not anything in specific, because the only names I knew going into here was from, Osmosis, vaguely Looks to the Moon, 5 Pebbles. Those were names I recognized. So I'm kind of, wondering, like, okay, how much of their designs is, okay, we get to see them in Downpour versus there's just general fanon designs, largely accepted fanon designs kind of things. But, ooh, I am going to go stare at those pictures. Very cool. Very neat. I would guess that that that's like the way that happened, like with the thing sprouting out of us, that's probably whatever was wrong with us, like maybe either reacting to being in the void or being excised from us as part of the ascension. I don't know, other than the fact that we interacted with them originally, I don't know what the other iterator, probably no significant harassment is, but ooh, that was pretty cool. Well, unless I end up finding out something else that I should do on this mode before going to Downpour, that's the end of me playing Rain World base game. I'm still so much in love with this game. I'm very excited to see what else they have in store. Yeah, and I'll see y'all with whatever version of that I end up doing first next time. Bye.